Hi everyone, welcome to the next episode of Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, and today is reveal day. So it is our second block for the month of October, and the Christmas theme is, can you tell? So we're giving you a couple of options here because we're not sure if everyone will have these, but it's vintage Christmas image, or you can be inspired by a Christmas vintage image. So you might see something like this on Pinterest and be inspired by it. Or you might actually have a vintage Christmas image. Now, certainly I know that if you've got some of the Christmas Kathy Holden fabric, she often has printed things like this. These ones are all bits and pieces that Rachel printed for me onto fabric, different fabrics. These ones are linen and these are just fabrics. This one's still got the paper backing. So I'm actually I want to use this cute little one. It's going to be my image. And then if you're going to do the winter theme, it's to be inspired by a vintage winter image or to use a winter image. So you might find an old postcard, so these are basically all old postcards. So a winter postcard or something that looks like it's a wintry scene, or to be inspired by a winter vintage image. Okay, so these are the different ones that I'm showing you that Rach printed me. Now I just want to show you something. This is something that Rachel actually put together. Mum, sorry, we didn't get this done, but we were going to make you a predominantly red and white Christmas journal. And this was a page that Rach started but didn't quite get it finished. So I'm going to be inspired by this page. I want to do some holly like this. I have my image and things around it. So there are beautiful images like this on Pinterest where they've done similar things. So that's my plan, and I want to do all my background red and white. So I've got a lot of different trims and old fabrics that are predominantly red and white. Okay, so lovely bits. I obviously won't be able to fit all of these in, but that's the plan, that I'm going to use red and white types of fabrics, and then my image is going to go on top, and little embellishments and things like that. Okay, so I'll just put the other images over to the side, and what I'm thinking is piecing some red and white fabrics. So I've got them everywhere. I've pulled out so many toiles, things like this, lovely scraps, stripes, checks, lovely piece of toile there. Okay, so I want to use a piece of this, which is, I think, some old upholstery fabric. This is from Rach. She would have got it in Italy at probably the antique market. So I have got a couple of pieces of this. So I want to, just deciding where to cut it. I want to use a piece of it. I don't know if it'll tear. Let's see. No, absolutely no chance. All right, so am I on screen? Yes. I'm going to layer up. I know I want some stripe. Oh, I really love this. This one's from Debbie. It's this old mattress ticking, Debbie. Like, how beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. Really like that thin stripe there. Okay, let's see. Can we tear this one? Oh, no. It's too solid. Okay, so which bit? I quite like that with the little frayed piece. Frayed bits coming off the end. Okay, what else? This one's really pretty. I don't know if I want to cut it up though. I'll just think about that one. I was thinking some toile. Might even go across the bottom. Oh yes, a fabric that rips. In there. So I've got those ones, get them out of the way. And then finally, fill the gap. one will disappear too much. I've already used ones like that. Maybe this is a piece from Lisa Mattock, an old piece of linen. Let me. Okay, now the edge of my, I'll cut this closer to the edge, and then, so my plan will be that my image will go down sort of towards the middle somewhere. I might cut a piece of this. Okay, let me have a look. That one's not long enough. We'll do that one. And I'll stitch it down. Okay, so kind of got an idea for my background. I'm going to pin these in place and work out how I want to stitch them. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, let me just find a thread. Put a lot of threads in this box so it's easier for me to find bits and pieces. I'm thinking of stitching with a piece, some crochet thread. I don't know what weight that is, but it's a fairly thin one. Okay. Okay, just get a needle. Small needle. Might not be able, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to thread that one. Let me find a better one. Try again. There we go. Okay, so all I'm going to do, I'm not going to do cantha stitching all over it. What I was thinking is just stitching around the outside with a running stitch. Start down in the bottom. I'll show you the idea of what I'm doing, and then I will hop off camera and do all the stitching. It shouldn't take too long. It wouldn't take as long as cantha stitching. So just doing a running stitch the whole way up the edge. Just take that off for a minute. Doesn't get in the way. Alright, so I think you get the idea. I'm going to do a running stitch around the outside of each piece to hold it down, and then I want to start layering up other fabrics and trims and laces so that I get some good texture. So I'll be back in a minute. I'll get this done. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, see you soon. Alright, so I've stitched down the backgrounds and I've just been playing around with some ideas of things I want to do. So literally none of this is stitched down, it's just the background at this point in time. Sorry, excuse me. I have this sort of really light grey, and it looks like it's a bit tea-dyed seam binding. Is that what it's called? I think it's called. And what I think I'd like to do is stitch down a ruffle around the edge. Maybe I'll work that out. I was also thinking I'd layer these numbers up somewhere, but that will be worked out as well. And then I'm going to put some of the lovely linen buttons as well, and do some embellishing. So let's take off all these layers, and we'll get stitching the bits and pieces down. So you've got to have a look for what's going to be in your background, most furthest background. And this sort of piece of tulle lace here, I've got some tulle here. This is a lace trim underneath. So this will be stitched down, this will be stitched down. I'll probably stitch that on next, and then I'll start layering up. So let's get going on these few bits and pieces that can be stitched down. Okay, and then this lovely trim here, which I might need to, I think I've made it just a tiny bit long, but I'll work that out in a sec. Okay, so I'm going to use a thinner cotton, just the standard sewing machine. Sorry, cotton. So, sorry, you can see the background, how I just did a running stitch the whole way around. Did it all around every piece, so it's all fixed down. So I'm just trying to thread my needle. It's a very small hole that I'm threading. And it is not cooperating. Got it. Okay, finally. So I'll do my little quilter's knot at the end. Run the thread down, wrap it around, and pull along the thread. Okay, so let's start off with this top piece up here. So just doing little stitches every now and then to hold it in place. You won't really see them, they'll be small, hopefully. So I'll just run it along the top first, just so it doesn't move around, and then I'll work down through the middle. So I'm just going over the little through one hole, and then over the little fibre, and then into another hole, just small stitches. All right, so you've got the idea now, and then what I'll do is I'll work it down. With this one, I'll just do little stitches over the little edges in various places to hold it down. And then this one at the bottom, I'll probably stitch along, then down the side, and then stitch the bottom. And if I feel I need to, I could do a little stitch through the middle as well. So I'll pop the camera off, I'll get the stitching done, and I'll come back and show you how it went in a sec. Okay, so all my little embellishments, the base ones are stitched down, and then I did a really tiny stitch around the edge of my vintage image. So what I'm doing now is I'm stitching this little trim around the edge, and all I'm doing is just randomly folding it somewhere, it doesn't matter where, twisting it, folding it, and then I just do a little stitch to hold it in place. About every centimetre I'm doing a little stitch. Okay, just giving it a little bit of an interesting feature around the outside of my image. I'm thinking I'd like to go the whole way around it, so we'll see how that looks. I'll just move my pins out of the way. Bit fiddly. Sorry, I'm twisting it every direction. So actually my stitches are probably a bit closer together, maybe about 1/2 centimetre. It's kind of cool, it's framing my image. Unthreaded my needle. Okay, so I think you get the idea. I'll pop off the camera again, I'll stitch around the whole outside, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, all stitched down around the edge. I'm just going to show you where I would layer a few more things up, but I'm not going to do any more stitching on this video, so that will be for next week's video. So I've got a little scrap piece of red fabric, which I think I'll cantha stitch along the bottom and then put a little bit of scrappy offcut on there. I was thinking of somehow layering this up the top, but I might put again a bit of scrappy fabric under it, but we'll see, because I don't want to actually cover up that stripe too much, so we'll work that one out. The cluster of Suffolk puffs are going to go somehow down the bottom, down here somewhere. I'll work out the positioning. I was thinking of putting the French numbers. I might lay them up down there. My buttons are going to be stitched across with a red thread to go with the red and white theme. They're going to be stitched across there. And then I don't think I need any more lace. I did stitch down a bit of old tulle at the background there already. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to create, like what Rach has done here, some holly leaves out of felted wool and some berries, which are going to go at the top. So that's kind of the plan. That's what I'm thinking for next week. And that's how my block's going to be. So I hope you like this theme and that it's not too challenging for you to come up with an idea. Like I said, if you don't have vintage images, don't stress, because you can just pick an image that you like, that you find online, and just be inspired by it and go for your creative life. Have fun. So you'll see Rachel's video soon. She's going to talk to you a little bit about how she's done the printing on the fabric, and she does have a full video on that, which she'll link in her video. So thanks for watching tonight. Tonight for me, almost time for bed, and I will see you again next week when I come back and I finish off my red and white vintage inspired Christmas image block. See you soon. Bye.